Welcome back. Growing Canada's economy is a worthy goal, but unless we fix how efficiently our economy operates, we risk leaving real wealth on the table. So how can Canada tackle its productivity problem? Charles St-Arnaud is chief economist at Servus Credit Union. Charles, thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
So the productivity problem, of course, we know leaves wealth. It erodes our wealth over time. It's been such a long-standing problem that I actually want to start a bit big picture and say, what do you think we should do that we haven't tried to improve how efficiently our economy operates?
Well, I think finally we're actually talking about it and being more willing to put action in place. So that's actually giving me a bit more confidence. But as you said, it has been a long-standing issue. Productivity in Canada has been weak for decades, and it's really an issue where we're not investing sufficiently in productive means, whether it is machinery, equipment, intellectual property, research and development. So it's really, how do we spur more spending in those areas?
One of the things we've seen is that when business feels the uncertainty in the world, we saw this in the first Trump administration. I can only imagine it's going to be worse this time, Charles. They don't spend. Confidence, of course, erodes. The role of government, I guess, is to try to instill confidence. The recent budget was aimed at attracting up to $1 trillion in private capital. Are the pieces in place to help business feel more confident?
Well, we're putting in place, or I would say it's a step in the right direction. Does it solve all the problem? Unlikely, but at least I feel confidence with the recent budget and the recent announcement by the government is that there's becoming a bit more of a realization in Canada that we need to take more care and help grow the supply side of the economy and stop focusing solely on the demand side and supporting consumers. And that's what we really need at the moment to actually spur our productivity going forward.
We have seen successive governments for decades try policies aimed at spurring this kind of investment, right? The shred tax credits aimed at kind of encouraging investment. Is there more of a cultural issue here, Charles? And if so, is there a different way to go about this to actually try to change the way Canadians think about taking risk and investing in ourselves?
Yeah, I think it's true. We need to have a cultural change. One of the things that was important, and we see it in the data, is and as I said earlier, is that we kind of always put too much emphasis on demand. How do we spur and support consumer demand, whether it's on housing and everything, without looking at the supply side? There's also issues where we're not necessarily thinking hard enough in terms of how are companies funding those investments, because it's nice to be willing to invest, but if we cannot get the capital at a decent price, then companies are not going to invest. And there's been evidence over the past 20 plus years that actually households who are also borrowing for consumption and to buy ever so expensive homes have actually crowded out the investment in the business sector. So we also need to think about that, is how can we actually divert more of our capital, more of our savings towards investment?
I mean, the good news there, Charles, is perhaps if we could make housing less of a kind of behemoth in terms of where the place it occupies in our overall economy, largest sector of the GDP, it might also have the effect of ending that crowding out, right? More banking credit available to businesses.
Yeah, but it's also a rotation in terms of we'll need to find a way of how to finance that investment, because at the end of the day, in economics, the sum of your investment in your economy is also the sum of your savings, whether it's domestic or foreign. So we'll need to make sure that we have access to that pool of capital to finance all our goals in terms of investment, whether it is productivity enhancing through machinery and equipment, whether it's military spending, whether it is affordability. We'll need a lot of investment in residential housing also to solve affordability. So we have a lot of needs, and it's not clear we have thought in terms of how are we going to finance all those investment needs.
Charles, so good to have you. Appreciate your time today.
Thank you for having me.
Charles St-Arnaud is chief economist at Servus Credit Union. Time for the takeaway, and when stuff gets real. In many ways, Canada is a country of advantages. Rich in natural resources, including abundant fresh water and 3 coastlines, Canada also made the most of its close proximity to the diverse and vibrant economy to the south. Call it the best of both worlds. Our small population could enjoy access to major markets while constructing a society along the lines we chose, based on shared wealth. Our healthcare system created a leveling effect, and while it's far from perfect, it remains the envy of most countries. Our spectacular natural endowments mean Canadians can live in cities that are often minutes away from nature's splendor. And we use our wealth to create a solid system of education. Built by our immigrant forebears, Canada is tolerant to newcomers and understands the value of diversity. Did we let our proximity to America make us a little lazy? Did we get a bit smug about our healthcare and education? Probably yes on all fronts. And now, with the mother of all wake-up calls, we've realized that our assumptions about the world have to change. We may still trade with the big economy to the south. Much of the business we do is province to state, and those are good customers. But we will find new ones as well. And while we do it, remind ourselves to be competitive, innovative, and operate as leanly as possible. While the world gets a little less integrated, we'll become a little more independent, making sure we can be self-sufficient in things that matter, so we aren't reliant on the kindness of other nations. That independence should be good for our economy, as it favors homegrown solutions. None of this is to say Canada should take anything for granted. Our debt levels, both for governments and households, need to be recalibrated, and our willingness to dig deep will be tested as we work to capture new markets and customers. But if we have challenges ahead of us, we also have everything we need to meet those challenges. My takeaway? Canada's economic future could go different directions, but it should feel good that the outcome is in our hands. That's Taking Stock for this week. I'm Amanda Lang. Thanks for being with us.